Today, I invite you to join my community where I will bring authentic storytelling, thought-provoking ideas, and an uncompromising vision for lifestyle and entertainment. I'm so excited for this episode because joining me at my simple stage is a highly organized and meticulous woman who can address needs in unique circumstances, diversity, and inclusive environments. With over a decade of experience supporting high-level government officials in an international government setting, she is a well-versed professional in diplomatic protocol, stakeholder liaison, public relations, and program coordination. Please welcome the Philippine Consul to, I don't know how to pronounce this, Gaborone, Botswana, Annelin Caoili Vista. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, meron na kaming sound ha. Gusto ko yan. Okay, so you may say hi to our viewers.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for gracing our podcast today. So, how are you doing at the moment?
I'm well, thank you. A bit nervous.
You don't have to. Okay, so it's good so to hear that from you. And then, so you are at the moment here in the Philippines. So,
Yes.
what have you been doing here at the moment? I mean, did you have a vacation? I mean, where did you spend your Holy Week?
Well, we started off in Boracay. Yes. So we got back yesterday. It was my first time. So it was beautiful.
In Boracay.
Yes. So it's a good thing for me to see and to learn as well because I am promoting the Philippines. And yes, it was an eye opener, and it was as beautiful as everyone says it is.
Okay. It's your first time in Boracay, and that's interesting to know.
Yes.
Okay. And then you are also the newly appointed consul. So how do you pronounce that? Is it Gaborone?
Gaborone.
Oh my God, that's too far, sorry. But thank you for correcting me the pronunciation.
But Gaborone is fine. Most foreigners would say Gaborone,
Okay.
but it is known as Gaborone.
Okay. And based on your profile, you were appointed last January.
Oh, no. I was actually appointed by the Philippine government in September
September. Okay.
last year, but I still had to wait for approval from the Botswana government. So that only took place at the end of November.
Okay. So that's
So-
last year.
Yes.
Of course. So you are now the newly appointed. So I want to know, how did you find out? What and where were you that time when you found out that you are the newly appointed?
Well, it is through application, so it's not something surprising, when it does come out. Though it was truly an honor when I was accepted, because you do have to wait for that. And I was in Botswana. The ambassador was actually in Botswana, and she came to see me and told me that the paperwork had already gone through. So I was very, very honored.
Right. And then you mentioned that you have to wait. How long did you wait?
Well,
Did it test your patience?
well, I actually had given up along the way because I had made the application at the end of 2023, and I found out in September 2024.
Yeah, I was counting, sorry.
Yes. And I still had to wait for Botswana government approval, which took place at the end of last year. So
That's quite like a year.
yes, because everything goes government to
Yes.
government. It's not just an appointment that comes from anywhere.
Right.
It's something that goes between the two governments. So the Philippines would have to make a recommendation of me. Botswana would have to approve it. The Philippines would then have to say, okay, please, we do appoint her. And after that, then the Botswana government has to say, yes, we accept her.
Right. And then, while you were speaking, I was thinking, oh my God, there's screening, there was this, there's this. And then finally, I am in. So, oh my God, then you have to wait for a year for that. So, it's good to know because our viewers want to know how, I mean, the process, or how were you chosen or how were you appointed in the position. And I know that being a consul, you have multiple responsibilities and to address and activities to attend. So I've narrowed down your duties that I think are ordinary and simple kababayans can relate to,
Yes.
regardless of what country you are in. So you are actually need to attend to and protect the interests of the Philippines in Botswana. So how do you do that?
Well, of course, anything to do with the Philippines and Filipinos, I would have to attend to. Although I'm not the final say,
Right.
because I'm an honorary consul, which means that I'm not I'm not a full I'm not a diplomat per se. So I haven't had the training of a diplomat in regards to Philippines
Right.
relations. So I would see where I can assist, but ultimately it is the embassy that would have to make the calls on anything. But I'm there to stand in, and if there needs to be a spokesperson for the Philippines, I am there.
Okay, and the next one is you provide support for our Filipinos or for the
Yes.
Filipino citizens. And how do you do that?
Well, that would be, of course, through consular work, number one, which I haven't started yet, by the way. Yes,
Okay.
because I will be, it will be officially announced only in the next month or so. Um, so at the moment, that is on the side. But yes, I assist through consular work. But at the same time, if there's anyone in distress, or if there's any problems that they may have, then I have to attend to that with the Botswana government if need be. So I'm the first person in line to go and assist.
Right.
But ultimately, if there is a problem, then that I cannot assist with, it will move on to the embassy.
Right. And then, of course, you provide consular services.
Yes.
So I want to know in what scale and how large it is.
Well, I would do notarization work, but at the same time, I would assist with visas.
Okay.
Yes, I think I just don't do passports. So that's as far as the consular work would go
Okay.
in that sense.
All right. And the last thing, and this is quite interesting, and for me as well, and for our viewers as well, you promote trade, investment, and culture between the two countries, the Philippines and
Yes.
Botswana. So in what sense and how do you do it?
Well, like I said, I'm newly appointed, so
Do you have any idea?
I haven't really started yet. But however, I do have many ideas that I'd
let's
like
go.
to bring forth. Botswana currently is looking for investors to invest in Botswana to start up manufacturing businesses. And I think it would be a very good idea for Filipinos to look into Botswana. Although the population of Botswana is small, with only just below 2.4 million, Botswana has opened up the markets where investors can manufacture and export. So it's not necessarily for the Botswana market. So they can export within Africa to various countries in Africa. They have agreements in place,
Right.
Botswana does. Or they have opened up to the EU market, and there's also the American market.
Right.
Yes. And culture-wise, well, that will have to come along. I do have plans, hopefully in the near future, for some smaller events. But yes, we'll see how it goes. I
Okay.
was part of a large, one of our largest that Botswana has had, the Filipino community has had. We had a wonderful cultural night where we were raising funds as well to build a house for a woman with disabilities. And we were able to, the Filipino community was able to build a house for her from that.
Okay, that's good.
And in that time, we all the Filipinos came together and everyone played a part in making the event a success. We had Filipinos dancing, we had our sewers coming in and they sewed Filipiniana and all the outfits. We had other people that transformed a pickup truck into a jeepney. It was very nice. So hopefully in the near future, we would be able to do something. We'll see.
I hope so.
Yes.
And I have to say this lang to our viewers because when I'm hearing the country Botswana, there are two things that always came to my mind. I mean, it's the diamond, of course. Again, this is for the fans. It's the Miss Universe 1999 in Botswana and Pulikula Hobe. And back then, it was Miriam Kembo, the first runner from the Philippines. That's the only thing I know about Botswana. And here you are telling me or informing me about it and our viewers about Botswana. Okay, that's interesting. But before you became, or before she became the Philippine consul to, again, I don't know how to pronounce it, in Botswana. How do you pronounce it again? Sorry.
Gaborone.
Gaborone.
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, you were a consultant, trainer, finance officer, executive assistant to the executive assistant to the executive officer. You are a manager of super high service, homemaker, and then again, manager of super high service. And this is something that somewhat related to you being now a consul. You were a special assistant to the ambassador at the Embassy of Japan in Botswana. With this many, I would say, accomplishment and position or post, do you miss any, or do you miss someone or anything in that post that you had before?
Well, I think it was time for me to grow.
Very nice. It's
Yes,
very nice.
I had been in my last post for the past 16 years. I'm very grateful for it because through that last position, I was able to learn everything that I know now.
Right.
And I do believe that I'll be able to assist not just Filipinos, but I really hope to encourage the bilateral relations between both Botswana and the Philippines.
Right. So this is quite interesting when I'm reading your profile. You grew up in Botswana and then you studied here, I mean, in Benilde.
Yes.
So why did you pursue your business administration here?
Well, you know, when you're young, it's your parents. So, well, Benilde
okay.
was my choice, though, because I looked at quite a few schools. But they wanted me to come here because they wanted me to grow, to learn more about Filipino culture, as I had never lived in the Philippines. So that was actually the only point in my life where I had lived in the Philippines. And basically to gain independence. And yes, I'm grateful for it.
Okay. And then, if I may ask, so how young were you when you, I mean, should I say started or you live in Botswana? I mean, how young?
I was 10.
Okay. And then you went back just to pursue your administration here?
Well, I came to the Philippines when I was 16, yes, and that's when I joined Benilde.
Okay. And then, what was your life back then? When you were in Benilde or at Benilde? I mean, how did you find, I mean, the scenario or the status quo during that time?
It was, at the beginning, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Because although having grown up with Filipino culture, Filipino parents and friends, it was still different living in the Philippines. It's a totally different lifestyle.
Right.
But which I adjusted to very easily.
Oh, that's
And
right. I was about to ask that.
yes,
How did you adjust?
with the help of my very good friends that I still have up to today. Yes.
So that's good.
It made it much easier.
Okay. You're lucky.
Yes, definitely.
Right. And Annelin, you studied here, I mean, in Benilde. So where did you spend your elementary and high school years?
Well, in my elementary years, where it was in Jamaica.
Oh gosh,
Yes.
another beautiful country.
Yes. So I was there for the duration of my elementary. So I was quite lucky because after that I moved to Botswana, where I did high school, and then I came to the Philippines for university.
So you have three settings
Yes.
when you study. I mean, elementary, secondary, and tertiary. So three different countries. So you adjusted easily in the Philippines,
Yes.
but you were young in Jamaica and Botswana.
That's true.
So what was your life back then? Can you recall?
Oh, well,
Was it easy? Did you have any problems at all or challenges along the way back then?
I think initially I can't say for Jamaica because I was still
Yeah, you're
quite
still young,
young.
yeah.
But in Botswana, initially it was, I think, the language, and the culture, of course. But I easily, again, adapted to Botswana because people are so welcoming. Everyone actually does speak English.
That's
So,
nice.
yes, so initially I did have a little bit of a problem, adjusting, but it went by so fast.
Okay, and then you continued your study or you pursue a diploma in Botswana.
Yes.
So that's another, thing for you. So why this time?
Why did I do it?
Yes.
Well, because one of my first jobs was I was an assistant finance officer.
Right.
And I felt that, okay, maybe so that I'm more qualified in this field and I can move further, I should study a little bit more. But yes, that stage in my life was very short-lived and I moved to something, I changed to something else afterwards.
Right. And then, so you have your degree in the Philippines and then another in Botswana. So,
Diploma, yeah.
so can you maybe share, I mean, how's the educational system in the Philippines, or maybe you can compare. So did you see something special or something different at all?
Well, at the end of the day, I believe education is education. We do have different educational systems, but Botswana follows the British system.
Okay.
Yes, while the Philippines, of course, we know.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
You know too. Okay.
Yes. So they're both equally as good. And I appreciated my time in the Philippines. It was something.
Right. That's good. And then,
And it is
Sorry,
something
please.
also, sorry.
no, it's
It
okay.
is-
Go ahead.
Education in the Philippines is also something I would like to promote for Botswana. Botswana is the people.
Yes.
Yes. So that I would like to promote for Botswana because I believe there are a lot of other opportunities in the Philippines.
And then earlier I mentioned that you grew up or you spent most of your, if not all or most of your time in Botswana, and then you went back here to
Yes.
study. So what's the reason? I mean, apart from you need to study, was there a reason? Was there an influence, or were you scheduled to be here?
Well, parents.
The
Like I
typical
said.
Filipino way.
Exactly.
That's what I'm expecting you
Yes.
will say. The Filipino setup that's
Yes.
still, still.
It's our parents' choice at the end of the day. Well, in that generation.
And then when you were told that, why don't you study or go here, what was your initial reaction?
Oh no, I was expecting it. So I had
Yeah, because we're
mentally
Filipinos.
prepared myself already to leave the house or to leave the home. And yes, and try and become independent.
And then you were 16.
I was
And then how
16.
long did you spend here? Like 4
Uh,
years, 5 years?
4.5 years.
And then you went back.
I went back. That's right.
And then you immediately studied there.
No, I started
Working.
first, and
Then you decide to
yes.
add another
Yeah.
thing for your education.
Yes.
in Botswana. Okay. So it's actually interesting. By the way, I just have to say this that she's a Filipino. She's just speaking English, but she's a Filipino. You can understand Filipino naman, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Sige nga, test ko nga.
Oh.
Magandang umaga. What's magandang umaga?
Good morning.
Oh, ayan. Oh, ayan. Para malaman nyo that she can speak or she understands Tagalog. So, hindi ka naman nahirap. Kaya tinagalog talaga siya. Did you
Oh.
have any hard time learning or understanding the Filipino language?
Oh my goodness.
When did you learn? How
Um,
young were you?
Well, my parents would only speak Filipino to us
At home.
when they were angry. So
You know why? For you to feel it. So it's gonna be deep. It's gonna be clear. Something like that. That's why they
Yes.
did it in Tagalog.
so when I came here, I thought, oh, I know Filipino until I took Filipino classes. And
Yeah, because your classmates are also Filipino, so you
Yes.
have to learn. You have to
Yes.
That's part of your adjustment
yeah,
here.
so unfortunately, I didn't do too well. I just passed.
Okay.
But yes.
Anime Filipino is hard. I can relate with you. I mean, the subject,
Yes.
it's hard because there are so many, I would say this in Tagalog, marami tayong katagang walang equivalent sa English. So, that's another thing in our language.
Well, thank you for making me feel better.
Yeah, because I also had a hard time during my college year with the Filipino subject. It's really, really hard. But we're supposed, or I'm supposed to understand the language. So I just have to say that to you. So, and then what was the first Filipino expression or word that you learned? Or that was, that was.
Oh my
up to you.
goodness. Can I even remember that?
You were 16 or?
I can't remember. The first expression.
Yes.
I don't know. I think we used to make fun of this expression, and that's what's coming to me right
Right.
now. And we just used to
Mhm.
just kill ourselves. You know, this, oh, you're making tusuk the fish
Ah.
ball.
I love it.
But-
Sabi ng tusok-tusok. Yeah, the fish ball.
But that's, you know,
That's it.
I can't remember exactly what the first expression was, but I
Okay.
just remember that as being comical.
Okay, that's good. So, yeah, that's an adjustment for you. I mean, the language or the culture as well, because you spent most of your time in Botswana and then you transfer here for your studies. So, what about the food?
Oh, food. I'm a
The Filipino-
foodie.
Are you okay with that? Because,
Of course.
again, you were in Botswana. I mean, the food or the
It's
ingredients and different, of
yes,
course.
but of course your parents would cook and friends would cook Filipino food.
So, what was it? Can you remember or can you recall the very first Filipino food that you tried or tasted?
No, I was a kid when I mean, we eat Filipino food in the house.
Okay.
So, of course, you know, the staples are always adobo
adobo.
and
The sinigang.
yes,
that,
and
the usual.
bulalo. And
Yun na bulalo.
yes, well, Botswana is one of the, that's its #2 export. So we have a lot of beef. And I grew up in a small town where they actually have the main abattoir. So we had plenty of excellent beef. The beef is exported to the EU.
Okay. European Union?
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yes.
Okay. At this moment, I'm going to ask Annelin some questions that we hope you will be inspired and entertained by her experience as a woman, mother, and a wife. Ready? Okay.
Go for it.
First one, your greatest achievement today. Make it short, or if you want to make it long, go right ahead.
No, it's actually easy. It's my son. Seeing him in the way that he is now, he's turning 20 next month, and the adult that he has become, exhibiting the values that we brought him up with, I believe that's my greatest achievement.
That's great. I would assume it's both Filipino and values.
Of
Botswana,
course.
right?
Of course.
Okay. Next, your happiest moment in your life, regardless if you're a mom or a woman or a wife. Just one.
One. That's that's difficult because I have lots.
Yes,
But
you are a woman of many things. That's why.
yes. Okay, because I mentioned my son.
Yeah.
Then let me mention my husband.
There you go. Yeah, please. I want to know about your husband too in this interview.
No, I have a very supportive husband.
Congratulations.
Thank you. He's been a wonderful man who's always stood by my side in everything and in this new position as well. So yes, I have a good partner and in life.
Okay, so I want to know about more of your husband. So where is he at the moment? What does he do?
Well, my husband has worked in the diamond industry.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
He's an engineer, a product of Botswana scholarship. So
Very lucky.
yes, so he became Botswana in the early 80s, I believe. So from there, he's very smart. So he got a scholarship to go to the UK. So he studied in the UK, and he worked in the diamond industry for 31 years. Actually, you would know the diamond company. It's called Botswana in Botswana, but it's part of De Beers.
Okay.
So it's a joint venture between the Botswana government and De Beers.
Okay. Next, your favorite place that you visited with your family, anywhere in the world, just one country.
I'll say memorable,
Please.
and it became favorite because of that, and it was actually to go to a friend's wedding in Switzerland.
Oh wow, that's a
Yes.
I love that country.
It was
Never been there, but I love
beautiful.
that country.
It was really beautiful, and of course, what made it special was that I was with family
Yes.
and we were with friends because she's a friend that grew up in Botswana and she's Filipino. And she's lived in many other countries. So when we were in Switzerland, she had guests from Botswana, the Philippines, America, Europe.
United Nations.
It was amazing.
Yeah, so it's a quality time between family and friends.
Exactly.
Okay, ito na. I think sinagot mo to. Ayan, tinagalog ko talaga. Your favorite food in the Philippines or in Botswana na lang?
In Botswana. In Botswana, I actually like their what do you call it? Their main dish, which is actually called seswa. It's actually called pounded meat. So it has the texture of like pulled pork, and you usually eat it with a starch and some gravy. Most people look forward to that because it's just pure meat.
Okay. Just a question.
Beef.
Can you cook? Okay, beef. Okay. That's baka in Tagalog.
Yes.
Okay. Can you cook?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can.
That's nice.
You have to.
Okay, so what's your specialty?
Phew.
Do you cook pasta or like, Filipino food or what's
In Botswana, because we can't get Filipino food easily, then
yeah, because
yes,
the ingredients.
exact. Not really, not necessarily the ingredients, not everything. We've found a way to make ritoke.
Gusto ko yung word mo, ritoke.
So yeah, so we've found a way to do that and make Filipino dishes easier with what we have. Yes, and a lot of us in Botswana, Filipinos in Botswana, we go online to look at recipes like Simpol.
I love it simple. You make it simple. So I just have to say this to yung sinabi mong retoke. In Filipino, kung ano yung meron, yun na, pagtsagaan na natin. That's how you do it here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talk about food. How about drinks? Any favorite drinks in Philippines?
I'm very boring there. I tend to just stick to
Water. Okay, cleanse. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, water. It's perfect. It makes you feel beautiful and replenish and rejuvenate. Okay, another thing. So your typical day looks like here in Botswana when you were here or in Botswana. what's your typical day in Botswana? I mean, you sleep, walking the beach, or anything like that?
Oh, Botswana is landlocked. So, no.
I love it.
No beach.
Okay.
Though it would be really nice.
Okay.
No. A typical Botswana day would, if it's a working day, everything would, of course, revolve around work. And if you have a child, then, your children throughout the day. But Botswana is a very social community, and we tend to, visit people for meals or go out for meals. Yes, and then on the weekends, again, it's social catch-ups, and of course, you have to attend to your own household needs.
Okay.
But yes,
All right. And then something that you can't live without found in your bag.
sunglasses.
Oh. Why?
No, I just
For protection or
yes,
for fashion?
for protection.
Both.
Well, a little bit of both.
You're a girl, so I can say that to you. Fashion.
Yes, definitely sunglasses.
Yeah, okay. Protection and fashion. And it's okay, it's normal. You're a girl. We're girls. All the time, girls. Okay. All right, another thing. Our last three questions. Okay, your favorite actor and actress, local or international?
Oh, that's a tough one because I don't watch as much as I used to.
Okay.
But maybe Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Because of her, well, she is a good actress.
Charity Works.
Exactly.
That you did also because I read your profile.
Yes,
So-
I
So
that is one thing that I do enjoy doing. And when I can give back and I can contribute, then, might not necessarily monetarily, but,
Other way.
yes, if I'm there, if I can do something, I am passionate about that.
Yeah, because it's not always about money that you can share to people.
Yes.
Regardless if it's in the Philippines or Botswana, there are other things that is not you can tangible like care or time. So those things. Okay. And then you said Angelina Jolie, so I'm gonna stick to this. So your favorite movie of Angelina Jolie?
Oh my goodness. See, I haven't watched in a while.
But there's Tomb Raider.
Yes, let's
There's,
stick with Tomb Raider now.
okay, there's Original Sin. There's Soul. Oh, I'm mentioning all of those. So Tomb Raider.
Making it easier for me.
Okay.
So
I love that movie because it's kind of a period film. So it's
Yes,
a treasure thing. It's like hunting like that.
but it's also a woman that's empowered. And, that's what I like particularly about that part of, seeing her. And she's like all the way that she is in the movie. Very empowered, and it makes you,
She's a powerful woman.
yes, you want to emulate that somehow. Not necessarily with what she did in Tomb
You're right.
Raider, but, the personality.
Right. Okay. Angelina Jolie girl ka pala. Okay, eto lang. Ito yung pinaka-gusto ko sa lahat eh. Did you understand that?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm just making a test here. Okay. Your most prized possession to date. Mahirap ba?
Oo.
Okay.
Is
But
it material?
At least,
or-
yun yung huli.
Syempre, my family.
Of course.
My prized possessions. But if I would say anything materially, a piece of jewelry from my Lola. Yeah,
Okay.
I was very close to her.
Okay. All right. See? Hindi ka naman kinakabahan eh. You did great in this interview. You did great. I'm telling you in front of camera. But anyway, thank you so much,
Thank
okay,
you.
for sharing your insight today. And I wish you good luck. And we had fun actually getting to know you. Your simple life here in the Philippines when you studied here, and then your simple life in Botswana. And I hope you will spread the word about the Philippines with your new post. And I take care
Definitely.
and good luck.
Thank you.
And do you have any final thoughts? Anything that you want to say to our viewers?
Thank you for having me, first of all, Kim.
Yes.
But as well, thank you to everyone. Please Botswana is a beautiful country to visit. Please check Botswana websites on tourism and everything. We have extremely good safari, and I hope to see you there just as much as I will try and bring people to the Philippines.
Nope. Absolutely. And again, thank you for joining us. Before we end, we'd like to offer you a small token, a diamond. No, I'm just joking. Of our gratitude.
I would have loved a diamond.
Our gratitude for your time and for sharing your valuable insight with us. So we'll present you a token. Oh, there you go. Here is our Simpol token from our Simpol stage here.
Thank you so much.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow us on social media for more inspiring and entertaining discussions. Follow Simpol.ph on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and LinkedIn. It's all here at Simpol, made simple just for you. This has been Kim Sancha, your host and binge section editor, and here's to Living Made Simple. Until next time.